Welcome into the sports news. Big show for you today. We're going to cover some boxing, some tennis, some baseball, racing, and Joey Chestnut is going to join our Ellen Barrett as well. Yeah, the all-time hot dog eating champion, Joey Chestnut. That Joey Chestnut is here on the sports news. But first up, it's going to be the headlines. They are powered by the Red Zone over on Regent Street and Conant Automotive in Stoughton. Sit back. The sports news straight ahead here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Hey, time now for the headlines. You're looking at the tackles, hits, checks, and dunks that make up the local sports scene. I am your host, Rich Reynolds, and let's hit the ground running. You know, one of my favorite songs from the 70s is Elton John's Saturday Night's All Right. Well, besides the obvious allure of wanting to rock and getting a belly full of beer, we all know that Saturday night is all right for fighting, and it was at the Alliant Energy Center. You know, it was a big night as the former WBA flyweight champion of the world and Madisonian Eric Morrell was on hand as Dorn the Storm Vu, the first Hmong world champion, frequent guest on this show as well, successfully defended his WBF super featherweight title while improving to 12-0-2, winning a 12-round unanimous decision. The night also saw Deontay Boomaye Wilson earn a unanimous decision as he became the WBF USA Super Lightweight Champion. And Dennis the Mongoose Morris, boy, did he have a good crowd with him. He got his 8th straight knockout victory as he flattened Lamar Harris in the 8th round. Well, for every kid who has ever tossed a pigskin on a crisp fall day in Wisconsin has dreamt of one day taking the field in Badger Cardinal and White or Packer Green and Gold. Well, for Wisconsin Rapids native Vince Beagle, it is now the best of both worlds. Yes, Beagle, who was a standout linebacker with the Badgers, heard his name called with Green Bay's first pick in the 4th round, as he will now be a Packer. Beagle was second team All Big Ten last season and finished his career at the UW with 21.5 sacks and 39.5 tackles for loss. Well, for the rest of the Badgers who entered this year's NFL draft, it was a bit of a mixed bag. Fellow linebacker T.J. Watt was chosen in the 1st round, 30th overall, by the Pittsburgh Steelers, while tackle Ryan Ramczyk was also taken in the 1st round, just 2 picks later by the New Orleans Saints. Everyone else, well, they had to wait till after the draft to sign free agent deals, including Corey Clement with the Eagles, Dare Ogunbowale to the Texans, Sojourn Shelton went to the Cardinals, and Rob Wheelwright catching on with the Carolina Panthers. Also, quarterback Bart Houston garnered a tryout with the Oakland, Los Angeles, Oakland again, Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah. And a few things signal the start of spring around here more than the annual tradition that is the Crazy Legs Classic. Now, in the 36th edition of the Classic, it was won by Andy Beck on Saturday, who completed the course in 24 minutes and 12 seconds. Middleton High School cross-country coach Brian Finnell finished second in just 14 seconds off the leader. The women were paced by UW track athlete Gabby Anzalone, who turned in a time of 27 minutes and 15 seconds. Well, for more information on our headlines and all the 411, check out these fine websites. Stick around. We have more interviews than anyone else. That's coming up next, right here on the Sports News on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. You know, I think one of the really great things about sports is that it's able to transcend just being sports, gets community involvement, and can also help people out in a big way. And in that vein, actually, we're going to bring in the head boys and girls tennis coach over at Stoughton. That is Ryan Reichel. And Ryan, welcome on into the program. And I hear you got a pretty big event coming up. Can you tell us what that's all about?
You bet, Rich. Thanks a lot for having me today. So coming up here in the next, over the next course of the week, we're going to be doing a Badger Conference tennis versus cancer matches. And originally they were scheduled for last week, Thursday, April 27th, but because of the spring weather, which is affecting a lot of sports, it postponed the matches, and they're going to be played with all conference schools over the next week and a half or so.
Yeah, that weather's pushed a lot of baseball back, tennis back, just about everything, softball that you could think of. So, you know, as far as the event goes itself, is that set up for anyone in particular?
Yes, late last fall during the girls' season, as a conference, we found out that the head girls coach over at Sauk Prairie High School, Katie Massey, developed breast cancer, and she was going through treatments, but it was kind of late in the tennis season at the time. So then over the course of the winter, I just tried to brainstorm how we might be able to help her out. And so this, kind of came into my mind, and just having all the conference schools play a cancer awareness match. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to be doing that, but it's for her this year, and I would like to make it an annual event, and every year, try to help somebody out within the Badger Conference who might be experiencing some hardships like Katie is this year.
Seems like a great idea and a tremendous event. How many tennis players are going to be involved with it?
So we have 12 schools that offer tennis on the boys' side, and through those 12 schools, there's about 400 varsity and JV athletes. So the cool thing is we're all going to unite together. Even though we're foes on the tennis court, we're going to be united together and try to make a unified front. So we'll have those 400 kids all wearing the same pink uniforms, kind of like the one I'm wearing today. So they'll all be working together to help raise funds for Katie, her team that she has put together for the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure.
Excellent stuff. Now, for our viewers that are watching at home right now, how can they help be a part of this and make a donation?
Well, I think on the scrolls that they'll see on the screen, you'll see where the matches are and also the dates those are. But if they would like to make a donation to the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, they could do that and then put Team Katie in the memo line, and then my information, my home address should be scrolling through the bottom as well, and they could mail that in. But if they were able to get out to their community, I know the events that we're hosting will be in Sauk Prairie, Stoughton, Reedsburg, Milton, and Madison Edgewood, and if they were able to make any one of those matches and enjoy a high school tennis match and help out for cancer awareness, that would be outstanding.
All that information down there right now. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with your event.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. Have a great spring.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics. Baseball season is in full swing. Yeah, I know, it's a terrible pun. But at least we get to talk some baseball amongst all this good weather and stuff. So it's good stuff as we talk with the Spartans from Memorial. We have head coach Tim Richardson, along with Isaac Blum, Searing Dorji, Billy Wilson. They're the captains of the team. And welcome on in, fellas. And coach, we will start with you. Let's talk about the early season. How have the first few games gone so far?
The games have been exciting. We've have 2 walk-off wins so far this season. We have a total of 3 wins and 1 loss. We lost 2 nights ago to Verona. We play LaFollette coming up, but so far, so good.
I talked to some of those Verona guys. They seem like they were pretty focused, so that's a pretty good matchup right there. So what's the outlook then for the Big 8 Conference, and then further on down the road if you're looking ahead to the WIAA tournament?
Historically, the Big 8 Conference is a very tough conference. We always have 2 or 3 teams represented at state, so the conference play will be difficult. It'll be a good test for us going into the tournament. It'll get us ready for the tournament. And I think the top teams are probably Janesville, Craig, and Sun Prairie. And then if you look across the state, Kenosha Indian Trail is going to be tough to beat this year.
Absolutely, and everyone's familiar with the recent success of Craig and Sun Prairie, so you are definitely in a very tough conference. Guys, let's turn to you right now. So playing varsity baseball, and you guys are seniors, you made it that far. How is it different, though, from playing youth baseball when you used to play that, or club baseball?
Well, high school ball is more team-oriented. We practice every day, and we all put in the work to succeed. As like travel baseball, it's kind of an individual thing. You're there to try to impress college scouts and hopefully get to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so much focus, on at least winning those games too at the varsity level. All of them count, so that's a big deal. As far as the style of play, some baseball teams like to be hit and run, fast teams. They play good defense and pitching. What style of play do you think would define Memorial baseball?
I believe we're definitely a scrappy team and aggressive, and our attitude is always to get that extra base.
Nice, yeah. Sometimes in baseball they use the word dirtbag. That's a good thing. So you gotta like that. So as you guys are seniors, you're playing in your last season. What advice would you give to aspiring young high school athletes?
I think I tell them that you only get high school one time and take advantage of these opportunities. And baseball is a great sport, playing with your friends every day, and you only get one shot at it, so make it count.
Absolutely. Fellas, we're going to go around one time. best baseball movie ever. What do you think it is?
You want to go first? Want me to go first?
You go first.
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, good one.
I have to go with For the Love of the Game.
Nice.
I'd say Sandlot.
Benchwarmers for sure.
Wow, and not one person said Major League, my all-time favorite. So good stuff. Fellas, thank you so much for being here. Good luck. A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics. You know, I think a lot of people in Wisconsin associate summertime with going to the races on a weekend, Friday, Saturday night, and taking in some of that good fun. But you could also take it in on Sundays as well over at Angel Park Speedway as we bring in John Blaska from Angel Park. And John, welcome on in. And if you could, tell us what's new this season at Angel Park.
This season, we have a lot of new race cars coming onto the track. We're bringing back our monster truck show. We have the first night is going to be the Tony Stewart All-Star Series. Going to be a big night of racing, and we're really hoping to see a lot of our fans there tonight, or that Sunday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, in the past, Angel Park has always been kind of synonymous with midget cars and midget racing. So is it going to be that again this year, or are you guys changing it up a little bit, adding some stuff?
Well, we have midgets going to be racing every Sunday night, along with a lot of different bodies of racing, open wheel sprints, wing sprints, non-wing sprints, some modifieds. The vintage stock car series from Illinois is going to be back, and the IRA Racing Association will be back, and a couple other ones, some surprises in there, as well as our monster truck show.
Excellent stuff. And so I think people too don't realize that sometimes out at Angel Park, there's some stuff going on that's not racing involved. So what events do you have this year that don't involve racing?
Well, we have, like I mentioned, our monster truck show, which will be June 24th and 25th. It's a Sunday night and a Saturday night, Sunday afternoon show, along with a lot of different non-racing associated events, Bacon Brews and Barbecue, Mountains Fest. So we have a kind of an assortment of different things that happen.
Yeah, I think that's all great stuff. You know, as far as other racetracks around, and there's a bunch of them around Wisconsin, it makes it a very competitive field. So as far as what you guys are doing, what are you guys doing to separate yourself from the rest of the competition out there?
A good variety of cars. You know, with the higher horsepower, some new things as well, like the modifieds, the vintage racing. It's not so much going to bring in a big amount of dollars, but it mixes it up for the fans, gives them a little something else to look at. So as well as our the Wisconsin Dirt Legends, it's a great thing on the track. They stay competitive. It's a real tight bunch of cars that really put on a good show. You
know, you mentioned the Tony Stewart All-Stars are going to be making an appearance on the very first night. That's going to be May 21st. Does that mean Tony Stewart comes out with them?
Yeah, he's going to be racing on the track, and hopefully his dad will be racing as well.
Wow, excellent stuff. So where can fans go to say, hey, I want to get more information, I want to purchase some tickets, I want to know more about what's going on in Angel Park?
You can check us out on our Facebook, Angel Park Speedway. It's going to be updated kind of daily during the season. And our website, angelparkspeedway.com.
We are definitely looking forward to it, and a whole season of racing out there and good times at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie. John, thanks for coming on. Thanks for bringing your guests, too.
You're welcome. It's a family track. We try to do things as a family. He works with us there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring the family out this summer.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Baseball season is upon us. They are playing everywhere. In college, they've been playing for like 2 months already. Major League Baseball's gotten underway, and they have in high school as well, as we bring in some of the players on the Verona team, as Jared, Tyler, and Jeff are joining us now on the Sports News. And welcome on in, fellas. You guys are fresh off a marathon battle against Janesville Parker, 16-inning game. What was it like to be a part of something like that?
Oh, it was crazy. The funny part about the game is Janesville, Craig, and Madison LaFollette played after us, so they started at like 10 o'clock, so it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, going through that game was just wild. I mean, 16 innings, it's insane.
The best part about, I think, if you're going to play in a 16-inning game is to at least get the win, as you guys were able to do that. So have you ever been a part of anything, you know, on any level that was a game that long, maybe even like video game baseball, anything that's ever been that long? You ever been a part of that?
I mean, I have personally. My JV season, when I was a freshman, we went 16 innings. And when I was on JV, I just wanted the game to be over, but like, this was like varsity, so obviously we wanted to win. But it was special, yeah. It was something I'll remember for a long time.
Absolutely. So as you guys move on in this season, what do you think some of the keys are if you guys are going to have a successful season?
Yeah, so some keys that we'll need to work on is hitting especially. We got to do a little bit better job at hitting the ball and just putting the ball in play. You know, we got some good pitching, so that really helps. We got a lot of deep. We got a good defense. We got a deep pitching staff that we can focus on and hopefully take us far into some games.
Yeah, sometimes early on in the season when it's cold here in Wisconsin, hitting can be an issue. It's tough. But you guys are off to a 3-0 start. What are some of the reasons for that?
Yeah, so just a good attitude in the dugout, just working hard, keeping everyone focused on the bench and just make sure everyone stays in the game.
Yeah, you got to be focused on that. So we talked about the areas that you need to improve upon. What do you think that you guys need to work on to get better this season?
Really, I think our main area, as we can all agree as a team, is our hitting. That's really been probably the place we struggle the most on. Obviously, our pitching and defense have been really excellent so far, but if we can really get our hitting as a team average up, we're going to be a really successful team that can probably take us deep into a playoff run.
Yeah, I bet you as it warms up, the bats will warm up as well. So about 15 seconds left. Goals for this 2017 season. Where do you set the bar? What are your goals this season?
Well, last year, I mean, we had one game before we went to the state playoffs, and I think that's the step we want to overcome. I mean, it was really close, came down to the wire, and I think for us seniors, because we're all three seniors, I think that'd be one area we'd like to get over that hump and make it into the playoffs.
That would be nice, and in a very tough conference with Janesville, Craig, Sun Prairie, Middleton, some good ball being played in the Big 8 Conference. Fellas, thanks for being on. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Welcome back to the Sports News. I'm Ellen Barrett, and now as baseball season is just heating up, we have one of the champions of another great sport to talk baseball, hot dogs, and the traditions that make them both special, Joey Jaws Chestnut, who is uniquely qualified to discuss the historic relationship that America's pastime has with the hot dog. Joey is the 9-time Major League eating champion and hot dog eating world record holder. He's joining us from St. Louis. Joey, thank you so much for being with us today.
Great to be on with you guys.
Thanks so much for being here. And now, Joey, what is the history of the hot dog in baseball, and what are you doing in St. Louis?
Oh, well, hot dogs and baseball have been going together for years and years, and they're both uniquely American. Baseball is America's pastime, and hot dogs are one of the few foods that really that identify with America. And so this year, Major League Baseball is this year they're announcing their first official hot dog is Nathan's Hot Dogs, and it's kind of a big deal. And actually, I'm in St. Louis today because they're holding a hot dog qualifier. The winner of this qualifying event gets to compete against me on the 4th of July.
Awesome stuff. And now, Joey, how would you say, you said a lot about the relationship between hot dogs and baseball. How can people celebrate that relationship and that history?
Well, people, it's natural to eat hot dogs in summertime. And it falls in place perfectly with baseball. Baseball is summertime. It's great to be outside. Hot dogs, it's perfectly natural to have a hot dog during a baseball game. And tonight at a baseball game, I'll be having a hot dog. I won't be dunking the bun in water like I do in the contest, but I'll have most likely raw onions and mustard. And it's part of Americana, and it's comfort food, and it's fun.
It's almost, synonymous, hot dogs and baseball together. Do you think that's why some of the things you listed?
I think it's hot dogs, baseball, America. It's one of the reasons why it's so popular on the 4th of July. The contest has become huge, and all these things are it's just things that it feels good, and if it feels good, most people will keep doing it.
Now, Joey, I got the chance to interview you last year, so I'm a little bit familiar with all of the records you hold. What are the challenges that you face setting a new record this year?
You know what, every year I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm 33 now. It's easier for me to gain weight, harder for me to lose it. In between contests, I have to eat a little bit healthier, and I have to run a little bit more, make sure that I go into these contests and I'm able to control my breathing. And then there's the other competitors. Every year there's more competitors trying to beat me, but I'm pretty confident in my ability, and so I just have to keep pushing hard. And as long as I'm going out there and having fun and treating my body right, I'm pretty confident that things are going to work out well.
Now that kind of leads into my next question. I want to know more about how you train as a professional eater.
Oh my God, yeah. My training, it's been a lot of trial and error and figuring out my body. Right now, these days, it's going to take about 8 weeks to practice for the 4th of July. Every week I do a practice contest. Before every practice, I fast for about 2 days, no solid food. Then I do my practice, and it takes almost 2 days to recover, and then I start pretty much fasting again for my next practice. And every practice I get the food down, digest it, and I build a tolerance, and I build up the number, and eventually, hopefully, I can get to a massive number and a world record number by the 4th of July.
And now, when you're in the actual competition, what is your strategy for downing that many hot dogs?
Oh yeah, my eating in the contest, I do 2 buns, then two pieces of meat, and then I'm dunking the bun in water. And the wet bun, it's really disgusting, but and it's not pretty, but it helps. It's fast. It's not the way I'd eat it at a baseball game, but it's competition, and a lot of the things that you do in competition aren't the way you do them in normal life. But it's not pretty eating. It's competitive eating. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat the guys next to me.
Absolutely. And now, I know you mentioned it's not how you may eat a hot dog in real life. What is your perfect hot dog? What are the toppings? Do you put out all the works?
Oh God, yeah, well, there's days where I like it really simple, just mustard and raw onions. But then if I get crazy sometimes if I'm at home, I'll wrap it in bacon, and there's cheese. Not too long ago, I put a cream spinach on my hot dog with some onions. It was delicious with some creamy horseradish, and so I think a hot dog is actually a perfect thing. It's a great canvas. You can put whatever you want on it, and yeah, I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan with you there with the raw onions, get the ketchup, mustard, maybe a pickle spear. That's the way I always go. And Joey, where can our fans go for more information on you in the upcoming competition?
People can go to nathansfamous.com to learn more about the hot dog contest, and people can go to nathansallstar.com for a chance to win awesome prizes, a trip to the All-Star game in Miami, and learn more about Nathan's association with Major League Baseball.
Awesome. Again, Joey Jaws Chestnut, we wish you the best of luck in the future, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more sports news right after this.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics. Hey, a big thank you to all of our guests who made it in. Thanks as well to Ellen Barrett, who was able to talk with Joey Chestnut. Big thank you to all of our sponsors, too, including the Red Zone over on Regent Street and Conan Automotive in Stoughton. And, of course, thanks for watching as well. I'm Rich Reynolds. We'll see you next time on the Sports News right here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.